Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12 o'clock now, so thank you for joining us for our GEL December virtual series. My name is Dan Saipon, and I'm the Director of GEL, or Global Experiential Learning, here at the University of Arizona. And what we try to do is we try to integrate travel, multicultural education, and service learning into more diverse and inclusive programming here at the University of Arizona for all students. And also staff and faculty here at the university. We have the great pleasure of having the United Way with us today. We've worked closely with them with our Cats in the Community project, and we would love for them to share more about what they're offering here, especially when we get this pandemic lifted and when hopefully we get the vaccine and our students and U of A Wildcats can go out in the community and help out as well. I couldn't do this all without my trusty staff of students. I would like them to introduce themselves now.
Hello, my name is Leslie Soto. I am a current senior at the University of Arizona with a speech, language, and hearing sciences major, and I am a current student intern for GEL.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Madrid. I am a political science and public management and policy major, and also a senior here at the University of Arizona. And I'm also a student intern for GEL.
Hi everyone, my name is Giselle Cid. I am a first year PhD student within the College of Education, and I am the student lead for our community team here at GEL. And so during this webinar, participants will have the opportunity to ask the panelists questions during the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to ask any questions, and we will take the time towards the end of the presentation to answer them. Thank you so much.
So now we as GEL want to acknowledge the land in which we sit upon. So with this being said, we want to share with you this land acknowledgement video.
Skikdash Wasajamai, Anian Abjigik, Amy Len Spotted Wolf, Aniapam Amjad, Judge Shaik, Wawik Dikshan, Tanatam Joed. Annual Miss Indian Arizona 2020-2021. Good day. My name is Amy Lynn Spotted Wolf, and I come from the Fresno Canyon community in the Babiquibi district on the Tanatam Nation. I am a senior here at the University of Arizona studying elementary education under the Indigenous Teacher Education Project. I am Miss Indian Arizona 2020-2021. Samach Achmach An Tanatam Hajurika Dam Oyopo. We acknowledge our presence on the Tanatam ancestral lands. For time immemorial, the Tanatam have been part of this landscape and the University of Arizona. The rich history and connection the Tanatam have to the University of Arizona is visible in the land. The saguaro, agave, ocotillo, and creosote bush used to beautify the university campus are sacred plants to the Tanatam. The mountains that surround the University of Arizona and contribute to the advancement in the studies of the Southwest at the UA are the homes of our ancestors. Babatoag, also known as Mount Lemon, Chimamactoag, also known as Tumamak Hill, Toakuo, also known as Santa Rita Mountains, are just several of the many mountain ranges important to the Tanatam culture and identity. Our connection to the land is living and breathing in us here in Tucson. We use this connection to the land and our ancestors to guide our studies at the University of Arizona. Tahugi, Sapa, thank you.
Okay, thank you for watching that with us.
Hello, thank you for joining us today as we talk with the United Way of Tucson to learn more about their mission. I now introduce to you all Corey Reese. Corey Reese is a Senior Development Officer with the United Way of Tucson and Southern Arizona. She graduated from Ashford University with an MBA in 2015. She is a sixth-generation Arizonan and grew up in what was once a small town called Sahuarita. She is an avid volunteer and works to better the community for children, families, and older adults. Her main goal is to make the community for her 4-year-old son and future generations.
Thank you, Leslie. And now with Meredith Bodie. Meredith was born and raised in Denver, Colorado. She moved to Tucson to earn a degree in elementary education from the U of A, and she's passionate about community building, making a positive difference in the world. She went on to build a career outside of traditional classrooms and has managed events and community outreach in several nonprofits for the last 14 years, including the Humane Society of Southern Arizona and the University of Arizona Foundation. She has been with United Way of Tucson since 2015 and is currently the Community Engagement Manager. She's in charge of forming strategic partnerships, building community relationships, as well as overseeing all the events for the organization, including Days of Caring, which is the single largest community volunteer event in Southern Arizona. In December 2018, she was awarded the Ordinary Women Doing Extraordinary Things nonprofit award by the U of A's Eller College of Business for her work with Days of Caring. She enjoys spending her free time with her two children, Reese and Nixon, and enjoys hiking, painting, music, and travel. And now we're going to turn it over to the United Way team.
Vanessa, thank you so much for that warm welcoming. We definitely appreciate it. We're just going to wait for Meredith to show the slides real quick. Again, my name is Corey Reese. I'm a Senior Development Officer at the United Way of Tucson in Southern Arizona. I've been with the United Way of Tucson in Southern Arizona for about 5 years now, a little bit over 5 years. And I started in on our program side and our parenting education programs, where I actually managed a grant-funded program that was offered not only in Tucson, but also in our rural areas in Sahuarita, Erivaca, Sassafee, and many others. You'll see right here on our slide that big challenges call for big solutions. And that's something that we've really been focusing on, especially this year with our pandemic happening in our community. We are actually, our mission is actually building a thriving community by uniting people, ideas, and resources. Sorry. Meredith, can I have you change that for me? I'm sorry. There we go. So what does that mean? That means that we would like to work as a collaborative and really have partnerships in our community to make those bigger changes that are needed in our rural communities, but also in our Tucson area. We are really one of the very few United Ways in the United States that has a program from everywhere from zero, meaning birth, all the way to end of life. So that means we have a program for anybody and everybody in our community, no matter what their age groups are. The three areas that we focus most on are health, our healthy communities, education, and financial, financial wellness. We want those three things for absolutely everybody in our community. And we think those are the things that you need to be able to thrive and really succeed. So how do we do that? We do it a lot with our community impact. Our community impact fund is actually something where we go out to many corporations, many employers right here in Tucson, in Sahuarita, everywhere you can possibly think of. When we ask them to hold campaigns, and we ask their employees to give, so we can put these programs into effect. So in our community impact fund, for every $1 given, we're able to make a $5 impact in our community. So you might be stepping back and thinking to yourself, how do you make a $5 impact out of $1? So we do it in a very unique way. We really maximize all of our partnerships in our community, not only with wonderful organizations like U of A, who just got done running their campaign, and their faculty and staff, contributed to the community, but we go out to larger organizations large organizations, small organizations, and we ask the community to give back to the community. Another way that we do it is that we actually have partnerships among a lot of the school districts, education, early education, and we ask them to give us data. And we ask them to provide us with the most accurate data they can. So we can go out to California, we can go out to Chicago, we can go out to New York and ask them to give us those larger grants and bring that money right back here into Tucson and Southern Arizona where it's really needed. And then the final thing, which I think is the most important thing that we do, is that we utilize our volunteers 100%. We want our volunteers out in our community to make these impacts. So last year, meaning the 2019 year, we actually were able to service over 175,000 people right here in Tucson in Southern Arizona. These are some percentages that you can look at. As you can see, our children, youth, and caregivers, those are like early childhood educators, caregivers for our older adults, they all get some type of assistance. So it's either with education or providing parents the ability to advocate for their children, a lot of different areas there. We also have our families and individuals, and then our older adults. Another thing that we did this year, which we're very proud of, is when COVID-19 really hit our community back in March, a lot of people didn't know when they lost their jobs how they're going to make mortgage payments, utility payments, anything like that. And we opened up an emergency fund, a COVID-19 emergency fund that went into effect immediately. And to date, we have actually distributed out over $500,000 in funds to our community, and also through our partnerships. And we gave money to the food bank, to our community, our Catholic community resource centers, just so they could actually get that money in there where it's needed. Because we know that food is needed, we know utilities is needed, and we know a home is needed, and it's very important to us. But we have Meredith Bodie with us today, and Meredith works with the best part of United Way, and that's our volunteers. And she's going to take a few moments just to kind of go over some of that information. Sorry, these are some of the statistics.
Okay, so there are a number of different ways for you to get involved within United Way. And the first thing that I'm going to chat about a little bit is our Young Leaders United, which is what we call an affinity group for professionals who invest in their community, and they're actively seeking ways to connect, serve, and lead to make a positive and lasting impact throughout Southern Arizona. So these are people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who really want to get involved, give back, and network with other people who want to do the same. Our focus for service, where every event that we do has some sort of service component, we are focusing on opportunity youth, which are youth ages 16 to 24 who are not in school and not working, but they're trying to get back on a path to success. So we partner closely with Goodwill of Southern Arizona's Metro Resource Center. They have 2 different resource centers, re-engagement centers in town, where they're offering resources to these youth, GED training and other supportive services. So this is just an at-a-glance look at what we did in 2018-19. I'm not going to talk about 19 and 20 because things were a little bit skewed this year. So we didn't do as much as we typically do. But activities that we engage in on a monthly or bi-monthly basis in order to raise funds and have the opportunity to do what you see here listed are happy hours. We do fundraisers where we hop on a bus and go to a bunch of different dive bars around town. We have what we call headshots and happy hour, where if you give a donation of professional clothing, you can get a free professional headshot. We have lunch and learns. We also partner with our youth to do different activities. We host their holiday party every year. Last year, it was at Dave & Buster's. We had a really nice time. We even gave out a laptop. And as you can see, we've provided services for smartphones and just done a lot of good with the group. And we have a lot of fun doing it as well. So the biggest volunteer event that we have throughout the year is Days of Caring. And Days of Caring is basically an event that takes place on a Friday and Saturday, where we get a number of different nonprofits, schools, childcare centers, neighborhood associations, basically anybody that needs help. And we partner them with groups of volunteers that are willing to do the work. It officially began in 1999. IBM came to us and wanted to do a day of service for their volunteers, and we helped them organize the event, and it sort of grew into what it is today. So a number of projects that you might be able to do while you're participating in Days of Caring is picking up trash, landscaping, tree planting, beautifying spaces, working in a community garden, working at the food bank. We just have a number of partners, and every year it's different, which is kind of fun to see. In the 21 years that we've done Days of Caring, we've seen over 57,000 volunteers complete almost 3,500 different projects throughout the community. And I think that's a pretty great testament to the positive impact that this event makes, even just in 2 days every year. And then we have a great partnership with lots of different companies in town who basically give the day off to their volunteers to go and volunteer. They pay them to volunteer. So I've just mentioned a couple of here. We've got IBM, Texas Instruments, Geico, Citibank, the City of Tucson, Target, Bank of America, Beach Fleischman, Pima Community College, and we have lots more businesses as well that we partner with. In a normal year, not this year, we see an average of about 4,000 volunteers and complete about 150 projects. This year was much smaller. Of course, we had about 1,100 volunteers, and the majority of those volunteers were helping out with at-home projects, whether it be making positive sidewalk chalk, cleaning up their own neighborhoods, creating kindness rocks, or creating a project at home. We also had a number of different socially distanced, mostly outdoor projects. So these are pictures from not a pandemic year, where we're out doing some really great work in the community, just to give you an idea of the variety of projects that are done. The thing I love about Days of Caring is that you can just volunteer for 1 or 2 days. You don't have to volunteer throughout the year. It's not a big commitment, but it is a really big impact, and it's a lot of fun, and you can kind of pick and choose what project speaks to you and sign up to help with that. So this is again, some projects that we did that were not in a pandemic year. And then this was a couple of projects we did this year, obviously socially distanced, but picking up trash, doing a lot of outdoor yard work, reading to dogs at the Humane Society, painting kindness rocks, lots of different options, but again, much smaller this year. And then we also partner with the U of A on Days of Caring. The biggest partnership is with our Eller College. We've partnered with them for at least 8 years, and they have their Make a Difference Day. We plan it at the same time. And in a typical year, last year was a record year. We saw over 1,100 students participate through just the Eller College Make a Difference Day, partnering with us. This year was a little over 600, which was more than half of the volunteers that we had this year for Days of Caring. So it's a really special partnership, and we're happy to have that. And then in more recent years, we've also seen partnerships with UA Blue Chip, community engagement, staff and faculty, and just a number of different organizations, including working with Dan to get students involved. So we're really happy to have the partnership with the university that we do, because you know, we love to partner and get young people, young students involved and feeling passionate about giving back, and we feel like it's a really good place to start. So some of the other ways that we engage volunteers here at United Way is to provide organizations and volunteers with a useful volunteer engagement platform, which the company is called Golden, but the site is volunteer.unitedwaytucson.org, where basically anybody in our community can create a profile and go online and ask for volunteer support. And then volunteers can go on, create a profile, and search different volunteer opportunities. I will show that to you in just a few minutes. We've already talked about Days of Caring. Another way that we provide support is to work with the corporate companies throughout Tucson to help them organize day of service opportunities. So as you see below on the lower right is Texas Instruments. They came out to Trot, and we organized that day where they did a whole day's worth of work with all of their employees. And there was about 120 employees out there working. And then we did a backpack drive with a smaller company down there on the left, where they organized a backpack drive and then dropped them off and donated them. So we do things like that throughout the year with different companies that come to us, and we're happy to partner with people as they're interested in giving back to the community. We also partner with other nonprofits and organizations who may need help with volunteer tasks, especially at the beginning of COVID and quarantine. Volunteers for emergency food box delivery and things like that were really necessary. And so we helped to create a special volunteer list with people that were open to delivering food boxes, and we would help them create opportunities on our Golden site and reach out to different partners to fill the volunteer needs. And we do that throughout the year, but COVID, we really saw a surge with that. So our volunteer.unitedwaytucson.org is a really great way for anybody in Tucson or Southern Arizona to access a number of different volunteer opportunities from tons of different organizations throughout the community. You can, sign up is super easy, name and email and password, you can create a profile, and they also have an app, which I think is really friendly for our younger generations just getting into volunteering. It's really easy to scroll through the application, find opportunities, and easily sign up. And then I was, if it works, I will quickly share my my screen here and show you what this site looks like. So I'm signed in here, but you can also browse opportunities without being signed in. But basically, you have all of the different opportunities that are available to you currently. If there was something that you were interested in, like say I wanted to volunteer food program for adults with disabilities through Easter Seals Blake Foundation, I can click on that. It will take me to the opportunity. There are lots of different time frames that opportunity is available. You can sign up for one or multiple at the same time. It also gives you all the different details about what you're actually doing, how long it will take, what the vibe is, which is kind of fun, exactly where it's located. You can share the link if you decide to sign up and want to share the link with friends and get other people to join you. It's easy to do that as well. And signing up is very, very easy once you're signed in. So like I said, that is volunteer.unitedwaytucson.org. You can also search for a particular volunteer opportunity, and you can also adjust your distance based on where you're located. Hang on just a second. Back to my presentation here. Another way that you can get involved with United Way is through our volunteer income tax assistance program. So this is our free tax preparation service for low and moderate income households. Anybody that makes less than $66,000 a year is able to get their taxes prepared for free from us and volunteers. It's 100% virtual this year. We started going virtual last year, and it was good timing because we were able to go fully virtual this year. And to volunteer, you don't have to be a tax preparer or even interested in finances. You just have to be passionate about wanting to see people who are in the low to moderate income get their full tax benefit back. And so there are lots of different ways that you can participate with our VITA team. If you're interested, we've got our website here, unitedwaytucson.org/join VITA. You do not have to have experience. If you are interested in learning how to prepare taxes, they do offer that training, and you get to be certified to prepare taxes, which is pretty cool. And I always like to share that the IRS is actually more stringent on certifying our tax preparers. So you have more experience than somebody that's typically working at an H&R Block. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but basically I was just going to read this section here. Most low to moderate income working families receive the largest share of their refund through the earned income tax credit. And so we really focus on this. It is the #1 credit for lifting people out of poverty, which is a pretty substantial statement, but we're really proud to be able to provide that to folks. And so we are partnering this year with Get Your Refund, which is the virtual program that we're using, where you basically upload all of your documents, and we have a tax preparer virtually prepare your taxes for you, which is pretty cool. We have a lot of really wonderful community partnerships that help us to do more in our community. These are just a couple of different partnerships that we've done throughout the year that have been kind of some tangible results. For our 20th annual Days of Caring, we created the mural that you see there with a local artist, and we partnered up with Startup Tucson, Southern Arizona Arts and Cultural Alliance, and Barrio Viejo. If any of you have been to the 7th and 6th intersection to see all the fun paint that they have over there and planters and seating areas, we helped work with Living Streets Alliance to create that a couple of years ago. And then our newest partnership is with the city of Tucson. They're going to be rolling out a new program called Team Up to Clean Up. It's really just encouraging community members to clean up their own area. And so we've been partnering with them and Tucson Clean and Beautiful to push that forward. We really strongly believe that collaborations and partnerships are critical to moving our community forward. And so we strive to continue to create new ones and improve upon the existing partnerships that we have. Last but not least, we have very active social media channels, so we really encourage you to jump on, follow us. It's a great way to stay connected to our work, learn more about what we do, and you know, just be supportive of an organization in your community that's doing a lot of great work.
Thank you, Corey and Meredith, for that amazing presentation and for taking the time out of your day to be present today with us. There was definitely a lot of useful information I retained from what the United Way does for our communities. We will now move forward to what we have as Q&A. I will be reading a couple of questions from the audience that have been made during the presentation. So the first question we have is, what has been the biggest challenge the United Way has faced since the beginning of the pandemic?
Well, I think that one of the biggest challenges that we faced is the same challenges that our community has faced, and that's just having enough resources. We really work hard to have these year-round programs that we've serviced for years, but when something new like this came up, we really had to like jump on with a bunch of partners and say, hey, how do we service our community and what they need right now? So we actually did a larger campaign where we asked some of our corporations to give a gift directly to our COVID-19 fund, so we could make sure that our community, we call it you know, the poverty line. So a lot of people are one flat tire, one medical bill, one, you know, missed week of work from falling underneath that poverty line. So our main goal was to, and one of our biggest concerns was to keep people above that. We don't want people falling under. So we've really worked with our community to make sure that doesn't happen, with either getting volunteers out to our seniors' homes to help them, bring them a meal or help them do, you know, dishes or something, all the way to let's get the resources out there to help them pay rent, keep a house over their head, and also to, you know, keep utilities on, because utilities are a lot harder to turn on and it costs a lot more to turn on than just to keep on.
Thank you. A question going more into detail into that is, what services and resources do you see that people need most, especially as the pandemic has rendered lots of families unemployed or underemployed?
Yes. You know, one of the biggest resources that we are coming up with right now, and you know, we're asking our community to give to, is direct contributions. You know, giving, you can get onto United Way or even giving to another nonprofit, because we're all working really hard to kind of supplement the areas that that need supplementation, such as housing, food, I know that through our COVID-19 fund, we were able to give a pretty large sum of money over to the community food bank to supplement the food that's needed to come, with the people coming in right now. Absolutely, we want to have people donate their time, volunteer, go out there and help them hand out food boxes because they're not allowed in the buildings right now. So they're driving through parking lots. There's a lot of different resources that are needed. Meredith, can you think of another one that would be huge right now?
When the pandemic started, we created a resource page with a number of different helpful places people could go to access food for their children, school learning links, different grants or scholarships they could apply for childcare coverage, or just some of those basic needs to be met. So just accessing that, and then just our COVID-19 fund has really been a helpful way for people to kind of stay on their feet or get back on their feet around this time of year.
And we're actually very happy and blessed right now because we actually just found out that we're actually going to be able to add over $500,000 to our COVID-19 fund. So that brings the total amount that it's being put back into our community up to $1 million. So we're really excited about that because I kind of feel like we're on wave 6 now of the pandemic, and it's just getting harder on people. So if we have those types of funds, if we have those resources, we just ask anybody that can to donate either their time, their treasure, whatever they can, because it really does make a huge impact for people in our community.
That is very amazing news to hear. Another question we have is, what do most volunteers enjoy doing the most? Like, what is their favorite volunteer experience?
So I would say that Days of Caring is definitely a popular one for our volunteers. They really enjoy getting out and volunteering in those days and making an impact and wearing the Live United shirts. So we have a number of volunteers that have participated in Days of Caring since the very first year and are very dedicated to doing it every single year. So that's that, to me, I think would be the most popular volunteer experience with us.
Okay, awesome. Following question, who else have you collaborated with in the UA and in the community?
So we talked about this a little bit in the presentation, but we've partnered with UA LR College for many years. In addition to just partnering with them with Days of Caring, we've partnered with their students in the spring months as well to help with Love of Literacy Month and for them to come read to students. We partner with the Blue Chip program throughout the year. They are going to be in providing a couple of internships for our VITA program this year. And with staff and faculty, we've been partnering for different volunteer opportunities. And then last year, right before the pandemic hit, we partnered with U of A Athletics. They were going to have their entire football program come out and spruce up a school, and so that's on hold for now, but we're really happy to have that partnership. But just partnering with the university as a whole has been such a rewarding experience, and we're really happy to have that connection.
Awesome. Our last question is, if anyone wants to volunteer with United Way, what should be the first thing they do?
Definitely check out our website to get an idea of the different ways that they can volunteer, and then just reach out to us. You can also go to volunteer.unitedwaytucson.org to see a number of different volunteer opportunities, or just head to our website and there's a volunteer link and you can submit your information and we will reach out to you.
All right, that seems to be it. Thank you so much for your answers and all the useful information provided. I will now pass it on to my peer, Vanessa.
Thank you, Leslie, and thank you for all your questions and answers, everyone. So if you want to get into contact with United Way, we also have this slide here provided. So please take a moment to take a quick picture of this, gather this information if you are interested. Honestly, I'm kind of interested too. So Yeah, we'll take a quick moment to make sure participants have this information if they're interested.
We
And
also
now
want
I'll
to
pass this on to Leslie.
thank you, Vanessa. We also want to take a moment to give the United Way team an opportunity to share any upcoming important dates with our participants, Meredith and Corey. Corey, I'm sorry. Is there anything that you'd like to announce?
We do have one really great virtual event coming up in February. This is our annual Business Leaders for Early Education Breakfast. This is our 16th annual event. Typically, we see about 800 people for breakfast every year for this event. And really the focus is informing the business community about the importance of early childhood education and early childhood literacy. And then a new component of the event that we added about 5 years ago is our Literacy Champion Awards. So we have 2 different winners that we have a nomination process and a committee who chooses winners, and they're basically 2 different educators in our community who have gone above and beyond to teach literacy to our youngest children in the community. So on February 25th in the morning, we will be doing a virtual business breakfast in bed where we'll be honoring those 2 people, as well as talking a little bit about the importance of early childhood education. And so that is a virtual opportunity. All funds raised will help to go to our My Summer Library program, which is a program where we go into several different schools of high need and give every kindergartner and first grader 12 free books that they get to select on their own to take home and keep at home throughout the summer so they don't have any summer learning loss. But that event is coming up. If you're interested in more information, you can visit our website.
Thank you, Corey and Meredith, for fitting us in your busy schedule and allowing us this opportunity with you all. The team and the university really appreciates it. Thank you all to the participants for being here with us as we spoke with Corey and Meredith from the United Way to learn about their mission and what we could do to better our community. Can we please take this moment to pull our phones out and to scan the QR code and complete post assessment? In case you don't have time to scan the QR code, we will also be emailing everyone the link, and you will have until December 18th to complete it.
Thank you, team, for putting that together. Thank you so much, Meredith and Corey. It's been great meeting you all this year and working with you all this first semester, and we hope to have a continued relationship with all of you in the future. So if you can click to the next slide. We want to kind of share with you the last sessions that we have for these next few days for tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tomorrow, we're going to have Oasis Raspados or fruit cones. That's going to kind of tell you about their place in the community, as well as on Thursday, we're going to have LGBTQ movement in Latin America. So those are 2 great, interesting topics that we want to share with you all. So we hope that you can join us in the future. And for GEL, we're not only a virtual platform, but we're also hoping to travel once again like we have in the past 3 years and get out there. So please be safe over this holiday season, mask up and social distance yourself so we can get out there and travel again. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you in the next few days. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Meredith and Corey.
Thank you, Meredith and Corey.
Appreciate it.